Yeah. So when I say show mode, I can see it is in multiple mode, and when I see show run, I can see the interface are not configured for any IP address. Okay. And when I convert my firewall into multiple context mode, by default an admin context get created. Now what is admin context? The system firewall already have one context called admin context. Like all the configuration that you normally do on system firewall get saved under admin context. That means all the configuration we are going to do and all the interfaces which your main firewall, that is the actual physical firewall, is having this interfaces which you are going to use for configuration. Like for example, E0 you are going to use for outside, E1 you are going to use for inside, 3, 4, like that. So if I see I am using E0, E1 and E2, only these 4 interfaces I am going to use. So when I talk about admin context is the actual physical context, okay, or you can say the main context which you have on the system firewall. Okay.
Hello.
And this is called HR context. Okay, so this is HR context. So now we are going to create, instead of 4 we are going to create only 2 contexts. So new, don't save. So now we have virtual firewall, 2 virtual firewall we are going to create now. Okay, this is HR underscore context. Which is having then you are having IT context. This is the system firewall, or you can say system ASA, which is now in which mode? Multiple mode. And admin context is created here on this firewall. So if you see an admin, automatically when you convert your ASA in multiple mode, automatically this ASA get converted into creates a admin context called admin. Now admin context is the, you can say, the master of all the context. That means, like if I tell you that this is the admin context, and under this context you can see we have HR and we have IT. That means admin is the master of all the contexts. And who carries this admin context? The main firewall, that is system firewall. you can, according to my license, I can go for 20 such virtual firewalls. Now when I talk about virtual firewall, this virtual firewall will also have multiple interfaces. So say it will have inside, outside and DMZ. Again it will have what? Inside.
So Munawar,
Yeah.
so there's a system, there's a ASA system context which is the main context, and then admin context is below it.
No, admin, yeah, all the other contexts will be like below admin context. Admin context is the master context, which is created automatically for system firewall. Like I just now showed you, no, I never created this. When you convert your firewall into multiple mode, this get automatically created, and
Okay.
whatever configuration I do on the system firewall, like I am going to create HR context, I am going to create IT context, whatever configuration I am going to do will get saved in which context? Admin context.
So what is a system firewall? Why do they say system firewall?
System means the main firewall, that is the physical box.
Oh, okay.
In the diagram, this is the actual physical box. These are not physical boxes, they are virtual. They are part of
Okay.
this physical box. This is actual physical box. Okay.
Got you.
So physical box is called as what? Main firewall, or you can say system ASA. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear? So in short, now you forget this. Okay. Now you have these two are actually part of the physical firewall. Clear? These two are part of physical firewall.
Yeah, they virtualized in the
Yeah, they are
physical.
virtualized inside a physical firewall. That means when I install VMware Workstation, I install VMware Workstation on my physical machine, and then
Yeah.
inside that workstation I create multiple virtual machines. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now you might have possible two ISPs. Okay. So if you have two ISPs, like you have two different routers which are facing these ISPs, possible. Okay. But in our diagram now we have only one router which is facing ISP. But it is in general what happens, people might go for multiple ISPs or multiple internet service provider. So suppose I am keeping this as what? R1, and this is as what? R2, which is facing internet. So for both this HR firewall and IT firewall, these are the two routers for going on internet, and they themselves also having separate LANs, like they are also having LAN. The HR is also having LAN, IT is also having LAN. They also have servers. These are servers. Okay. So now what happens if these people are getting connected to HR, and the both the firewall is different, both the department is different, and both is having what? Inside. Both is having outside. So now I say outside. This fellow is also having inside. This fellow is also having what? Outside. And this is what? DMZ of this firewall. This is also DMZ of this firewall. Now what is the VLAN? Actually you have to see, if you are making a virtual firewall, you have to create VLANs also. You cannot do without VLANs. Like if you are creating sub interface of the physical ultimately you have only 6 interfaces. Out of this 6 interfaces, you have decided that you are going to give 3 interfaces to two different virtual firewall, or you can give more also. It depends on you. So I have decided that I will give E0, E1 and E2. E0 for outside, E1 for inside and E2 for DMZ. So what I have to do? I have to first go on interface E0, I have to say no shut. I have to go on E1 and say no shut, because by default they are in shutdown mode, and I have to say what? No shut. So once I do this, my interfaces are now up. Okay.
Munawar,
Yeah.
with regards to these physical interfaces now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're saying that you need to attach these physical interfaces to the context.
Yeah, but there are two firewalls, so you cannot give three interface to both of them. Okay. So what you are going to do? You are going to create sub interfaces. Getting it?
Yeah, because my question was actually going to be like, if the system allows 20 different security contexts, which
Yeah.
means you can have 20 virtual firewalls. So let's say I do have 20 virtual firewalls,
Correct.
and obviously you have 3 virtual interfaces per instance, which is inside outside DMZ. So you
Correct.
basically see 20 times 3, which is actually 60 virtual interfaces.
Yes.
And how are you going to map that according to the physical interfaces, saying for these 10 interfaces, they are outside interfaces over this physical port,
Correct.
and the other 2 is inside interfaces across these physical ports.
Correct.
So I want to understand that mapping.
Correct, correct. You have a right question in your mind. See, actually I am having only, say assume we have only 3 interfaces, okay, and we have 20 virtual firewall. So you are saying how we are going to accommodate 20 virtual firewall with only 3 physical interface. So if you
Yes.
remember, we used to do router on a stick, or we do sub interface of a physical. So in sub interface what we can do, we can go and create sub interfaces. You can create as many as possible sub interface. Can you see sub interface?
Okay.
Okay. So now what I'll do, according to your question, just pay attention. Like I am going to allocate E1, but I am not going to allocate physical. I am going to allocate E1.10. Now why I did 10? Because see, whenever you create sub interface of any physical interface, you have to accommodate it with VLAN. Like I hope you remember in router we used to do router. If you know, if you are doing router, you will go here and say config T interface E0 by 0. Suppose if you are telling interface E0 by 0, and you are telling no IP address, and you are telling no shut, and when you go here and say E0 by 0 dot 10, and if you try to give the IP address to this, he won't accept it. Why? Will he accept this IP? No. Why? What is telling? If you want to make sub interface of a physical interface, it has to be attached with the encapsulation, and it has to be trunk, and it has to be mapped with some VLAN ID. Correct? This VLAN ID, if I do this and try to give the IP address, is going to accept. Correct? So same way, if I am planning to make a sub interface of E1, suppose I am making E1.10, and if I give the IP address 192.168.10.1 255.255.255.0, he is going to not accept it. He is going to say first you create VLAN 10, okay, and then you can give the IP address. Why is not taking IP address? 1 minute. Show run. Interface. Okay. Not here. He will take the IP address in the you can say virtual firewall. Here we have to just accommodate it with VLAN IP. Okay. So I will show this in the diagram. E1 dot 10 is there, 11, VLAN 11. So what I did, I have made this department come under VLAN 10, this department under VLAN 11, okay, DMZ under VLAN 20, this DMZ under VLAN 25, and outside as VLAN 30 and outside as VLAN 35. So see, I have divided my HR context or HR department in 3 VLANs. For inside it is VLAN 10, and for outside it is VLAN 30, and for DMZ is, and here 11, 25 and 35. It is compulsory. If you want physical interface to be sub interface, it is compulsory. Like for example, for DMZ I am having what, E2, but I am not going to use E2. I am going to use E2 dot 20. 20 is like optional, you can take any number, but I have taken 20 because my VLAN is also 20. Here also.
So if I understand you correctly now, you're saying, okay, the admin context has 3 physical interfaces.
Yes.
And each interface, physical interface, I'm going to give to a specific
Firewall, specific department, but sub
yes. So
sub
yes. So you may say that, okay, port 0 or E1 we will use for all inside interfaces, and the security contexts that are using that interfaces must use sub interfaces of the
Yes.
physical interface.
Yes, yes.
And then for E2 that will maybe
Hello. Hello. Hello.
needs to be in the form of sub interfaces.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But
got you now.
but Conwell, you can also see, this is also possible. Like you are thinking that you have to make compulsorily this sub interface only, then only it will work, because the physical firewall is having only one, what you say, one physical interface, correct? Let me connect it with the this thing.
Sorry, we can't hear you. It's choppy.
Yeah. Now you are able to hear.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. But suppose, see, I don't have, in this scenario I am having only one ISP, one internet. So both the department is going to use only one internet. Okay. So according to my diagram, I have created 2 sub interface for outside also. Suppose E0 dot 30 and E0 dot 35. So see what I did, I took 3 interface, E1, E2 and E3, sorry, E0, E1 and E2, and I divided this E0, E1 and E2 to both the contexts, that is HR context and IT context. But what I did, I created sub interface for LAN, I created sub interface for WAN, I created sub interface for DMZ also. So now I accommodate E0, E1 and E2 for both of them. I can do it for 20 also. No problem. Okay. Now, but see, now I don't have, see, you can do this way. But now if you see, I don't have 2 routers for sending my traffic outside. I am having only one router for sending the traffic outside. So I can use the same physical interface for both the contexts also. That is also possible. So what I'll do, I'll remove this. Okay, I don't have 2 ISPs to send my department traffic from 2 different ISPs. I'm having only one ISP. So what I'll do now, I'm going to create one router here. I'm going to send the traffic of this guy to the same router interface, this guy also to the same, and this guy is what, R1 according to our diagram. Convey. Okay, this is my R1.
Yeah.
So why I need sub interface? Because I can use the same physical interface here also and here also. It will also work. It is not compulsory that you should make sub interface of the physical. I can allocate the physical interface to both the virtual firewall, so then also it will work. Why? Because see,
Because you have a single router.
yeah, single router. Secondly, my firewall will always generate virtual MAC addresses, unique virtual MAC address, because otherwise there will be a confusion. Because see, physically there is only one interface, no, E1. So see, if these people, this LAN people, try to send an ARP for the gateway, suppose the gateway of these guys is 192.168.10.1, the LAN IP, okay, and the LAN IP of these guys is 192.168.20.1. I have changed the subnet now. Earlier it was only 10 only. Now I changed the subnet to 20. Now DMZ subnet is also changed. Earlier it was 10.1.1. Now it will be what? 10.2.2.1/24. So you see, this department is having their own subnet for LAN. This department is having their own subnet for LAN. For DMZ they have their own subnet. Here also for DMZ they have their own subnet. But for going on internet they have the same IP address, because ultimately they will go out with the same subnet. Correct? Because they have to land the router to go out. So it has to be in the same subnet. Otherwise I have to create sub interface on R1 also. So why to do all those stuff? I can keep this. See, outside IP can be same for going on internet, but LAN has to be different. LAN VLAN is also be different. DMZ VLAN is different. But for going on internet, their outside IP will be same. So today we are going to do this scenario. Okay. Today we are going to do this scenario. In this scenario, if you see, there are two PCs here. There are two PCs here. So we'll keep only one PC.
So,
yeah.
Munawar, in case if you have two ISPs in that diagram,
Okay.
then obviously you're going to have a switch there in the middle.
Yes. Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Obviously you have to have switch in the middle. Okay. Now also I am having a switch on LAN. I am having a switch. Okay. And we need to create trunking, and we need to create VLANs also on that switch. Okay. Because see, trunking is compulsory. Where you are going to do trunk now? Conwell, can you tell me where you are going to do trunk? You are going to do this interface as what? Trunk. Why? Because this interface is going to carry two VLANs. Actually speaking, there is only one single firewall. Yes or no?
Yes.
This is the one firewall that is working, and there is only a single interface. Okay, that is E1. So this single interface E1 is going to carry two different VLAN information. Remember the VLAN topic. So we need to configure this link as what? Trunk link. Which one? The one which is having E1 IP, E1 interface. Okay, that has to be converted into what? Trunk. So please try to understand this diagram first. What is the subnet? Okay, I'll write it down. Notepad. How many departments? Two departments. What are the name of the department? HR, contacts, IT contacts. Okay. Okay. This fellow is having how many VLANs? He is having VLAN 10 as inside, and he is having the network of 192.168.10.0/24. He is having VLAN 20 as DMZ with the network of 10.1.1.0/24. This fellow is having 11, 25, 2.2.0. Okay. How many interface you are giving this guy? You are giving E0, you are giving E1, you are giving E2. But actually you are giving what? E1 dot 10 and E2 dot 20, E0, E1 dot 11, E2 dot 25. Okay, this is the configuration. VLAN 10 for inside, VLAN 20 for DMZ, VLAN 11 for inside, VLAN 25 for DMZ. For outside you don't have any VLAN because both the firewall traffic will go to the same router. And if you see, I have configured this router with the IP 20.1.1.5. Okay, just wait, just wait.
Have you still okay? Let me know if you need anything next. Or if you want cool drink or whatever. You can give me food then. Okay.
Okay, if you see, this is 2115, that is in the diagram. The IP address I have kept here is 20115. So this will be the next hop always for all the routers. Now I told you unique interfaces has to be there. You can also allocate physical interface as I did in the case of outside. That will also work. Okay, unique MAC addresses has to be there. That means if the machine try to send an ARP request for getting the MAC address of 10.1, then they should get different MAC address from HR contacts, and they should get different MAC address from IT contacts. So both the firewall, that is IT contacts and HR contacts, should give different MAC addresses, otherwise there will be a conflict. Okay, so yes, there is a provision of virtual MAC address in firewall, but you need to add one command called MAC address auto. What is the meaning of this? MAC address auto automatically create dummy MAC address or virtual MAC address for interfaces E1, because the actual MAC address for E1 is 5000.008.0.0.1 and the actual MAC address for E2 is 5000.008.0.2. So this MAC address will not be given to any machine. Okay.
Is that the actual physical MAC address?
Yes, but this MAC address will not be given. Instead of that, dummy MAC addresses will be assigned to all the contacts. Okay, that is why I gave this command MAC address auto. What is the meaning
So
of
if
this?
you don't give the command, then what happens?
Hello, I didn't get you. Hello.
If you don't give the command, then what happens?
It will not work. The ping will not work. Okay.
Oh,
The
okay.
connectivity won't take place. That means the LAN PC of both the contacts will not be able to reach the virtual firewall, because it will be a conflict, no? My switch will get confused. See, this is a switch here. Correct? Conwell, this is a switch here.
Yes.
So now you think, if R3 asks for HR contacts E1 MAC address in the ARP request, and if E1 gives the physical MAC address, now both the E1 is having the same physical MAC address. So my switch will register the physical MAC address on this also and this also. Then he will get confused where to send the traffic of R3, either on this interface or this interface. So that
Okay.
is why they have to separate it with virtual MAC address. That means R3 will get a separate virtual MAC address for inside interface, that is E1.10, and R4 will get a separate virtual MAC address for E1.11. Okay, because
Okay.
switch needs two different MAC address to send on the trunk link, two different VLANs to send on the trunk link. Okay, then only the traffic will go to HR and IT contacts respectively. Okay. So what is the important command you have to give on the ASA? But remember one thing, before doing anything on ASA, always complete the switch tasks first. This switch, the switch which is connecting R3 and R4, okay, and the switch which is connecting the servers. This task has to be completed first. So we'll go on the switch.
Okay, so hi man, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I missed out a lot. Huh?
Yeah, just see, we are doing this virtual firewall where we have two different contacts in a single box.
HR. Yeah.
Two different department, you can say HR and IT. This is IT.
Okay. Yeah.
This is IT.
Yeah. And the above one is HR.
Yeah. And we have total we have taken from the physical firewall, we have taken three interfaces, E0,
Okay.
E1 and E2, for giving
Okay.
them, because they are two different departments. So we have to give three different interfaces to make their LAN outside and DMZ. Okay.
Okay.
But then
Yeah.
we are doing what? We are, if you want to allocate multiple virtual firewall, three physical interface, you have to create sub interface, compulsory. But
Okay.
then suppose you don't have separate LAN, like for example in the outside, if you see, I am having only one router to go on internet, that is only one exit point. It is possible that you might have two exit points. So if you have two exit points, then you can have two different subnet on outside. Like for example, I have taken an internet connection from X company. So X company will give me one public IP, and for redundancy or for other department, I have taken Y company internet. So Y company will give me new public IP. But now what happened, I have taken internet from only one company. So one company has given me the same subnet, that is 20 subnet.
Yeah.
So I am going to use 20 for HR contacts also and for IT contacts also.
IT
Because
also,
both of them
okay.
are going to hit the same
Yeah.
router to go on internet. So why to
Yeah.
change the subnet and why to create sub interface? Okay. So I can use physical interface to both the firewall and all. Like suppose I create 20 virtual firewall also, I can give same physical interface to all of them. Why?
To go out.
Yes. And remember one thing, when you create sub interfaces and when you give multiple interfaces to multiple firewalls, then firewall automatically create virtual MAC addresses for the ARP request and ARP replies. Virtual. Okay.
Okay, and but will they change every time or they are fixed? Once if created, it's done.
Once it's created, it is done. Like
Okay.
ASA is having a database, like he is having programmed in such a way that he is carrying multiple virtual MAC address. You have to just activate it.
Yeah, but it won't change it.
No.
It will not change it,
No.
right? Okay.
You need to.
It's
say,
static basically.
Yeah.
It's a unique static.
Yeah, and he will allocate. You don't have to worry for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay,
You
yeah,
have
because
to
it's
just
MAC address.
activate this feature. You have to say
Okay.
what?
MAC address auto.
Automatically please generate automatically, because see what happened in this diagram. If R3 try to send an ARP request, give me MAC address, then ASA won't give him the physical MAC address. ASA will always give him the virtual MAC address.
So it has to be on the interface, right?
Yes, on the switch interface. Okay.
Okay.
Interface of the ASA, and it will be seen on the switch also, because
Okay.
switch, like in my diagram, like this is the switch, like
Yeah.
32777. So let me check which switch is this. Okay, this is the switch which is connected to the LAN. So I say host name LAN switch. Okay. Now if I see here, do show interface status, I have connected 4 interfaces on this switch. Okay, according to diagram. Okay.
Yeah.
1 2 3 4. R3 is connected to 0 by 1, and so what I'll do, I'll create VLAN 10, name HR contacts. Just see the diagram once again. VLAN 10 for HR contacts on the switch. Now VLAN 11 for IT contacts on the same switch. Okay. Show VLAN. So I created 2 VLAN. One is HR contacts and one is IT contacts. They both are LAN actually of HR and IT. Okay. Now I have to include R3 and R4 to be part of that interface. So 1 and 2. So I say interface G0 by 1, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10. Okay. Then I go on 2 and say switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 11, spanning tree port fast to make the things work faster. Spanning tree port fast.
That's the interfaces going to the router, right?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Which interface you are talking about?
That you creating here now on the switch where you're assigning the VLAN.
Just see the diagram. R3 is connected to switch, R4 is connected to the switch. So G0 by 1 and 0 by 2 belongs to VLAN, no? Which VLAN? Okay. So I write it here also. VLAN 10. Okay. Bold. Save. So this is VLAN 10. And this is belongs to VLAN 10, 11. Clear, Conwell and Arpan? So both these machines, R3 belongs to VLAN 10, that is HR contacts, and R4 belongs to IT contacts.
IT.
Yeah, and LAN, LAN PC.
Yeah.
And remember one thing, the interface which is connected to the switch, E1, has to be trunk. So if you see show interface status, there is one interface called G0 by 0, that has to be what? Trunk. interface G0 by 0 switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1q switch port mode trunk. This is the interface facing ASA. Why?
There's also
Yeah.
there's also another interface, right?
See, which are another? Yeah, but we are
And
not
connect.
using that at present.
Okay.
We
are not using
we are
3.
using only E1. We are not using E5.
Okay.
So if you are
E5 we are not
using
using.
E1, E1 is connected to switch 0 by 0, no?
0, 0. Yeah.
And it has to be compulsorily trunk. Now why? Because see, in general it is only a single firewall, no?
Yeah.
Now, there are VLAN 10 traffic will also go to that same interface to the ASA.
Yeah.
VLAN
And
11
also.
also will go from the same interface. See,
Yeah.
switch don't know there is a virtual context in ASA. Okay, so switch has to send both the VLAN traffic from the same link to the ASA. Now ASA will take care of separating them. Like R3 will come asking, "Okay, I want to go to my own context, that is HR," and R4 will come and say, "I want to go to my own department, that is IT context." So ASA will say, "Yes, yes, both are different, but actually ASA is only one. Physically he is only one. He is going to separate it. Let him do that." Okay. So switching part is complete on this side. Now you have to do the switching part on DMZ also. So you say config T, host name, DMZ switch. Okay. Here you are going to create how many VLANs? 20, name, HR, DMZ, and you are going to create 25 IT DMZ. That means in HR also you have server, in IT also you have server. So when I say show VLAN 20 and 25, see the diagram? This is what? 20. And this belongs to 25. Clear? So again this also has to be converted into trunk. Which one? E2. E2 is going to G0 by 0. So you go on G0 by 0 and say switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1q switch port mode trunk description interface facing ASA, and you have to go on interface 0 by 2 belongs to VLAN 20 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 20.
Your voice is breaking up now.
Yeah, wait, let me check. Now it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 0 by 3, if you see the diagram, 0 by 3 belongs to VLAN 25. Spanning tree, port fast, edge, default. So VLAN, if you see, HR DMZ is 20 and IT DMZ is 25. 2 and 3 belongs to different VLANs, different servers altogether. And then I also have a trunking. When I say show CDP neighbor, can you see server 1 and server 2? Server 1 belongs to 0 by 2, like that. Same way if I go here and say show CDP neighbor, PC 1 belongs to 1 and PC2 belongs to 2. So switching part is over, trunking part is done on both the side. Yes. Now comes to firewall. Show mode, multiple, show run. Arpan, when we change the mode, no? Hello, Arpan. Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Arpan,
Can't hear me?
when we
Can you hear?
change the mode, no?
Yeah.
Two things happens. Automatically an admin context is created. Okay. What is this?
Okay, when you change from router to
No.
virtual or
When we
any
change the
side?
mode from single to multiple, not router to transparent.
Okay, from single to multiple.
Yeah, we say show mode. Single to multiple context mode. Now automatically this is configured by the ASA, telling that from now onwards this system firewall belongs to admin context. Okay.
Okay.
Now
Yeah.
who comes under admin context? HR and IT actually comes under admin context.
Okay.
That means all the context comes under. Okay. So when you see show context,
Just a question quickly.
yeah.
Did you choose to allocate the interfaces, or was it
No.
automatically done?
Automatically he allocated the physical interfaces. Okay. He allocated.
So you can change it.
You can change it. You can allocate more interface also to the physical. Okay. You can even remove this, but it is better you keep this admin context. Like I told you, no, this is the physical firewall, which is very important. If this breaks, virtual also goes away. Virtual is purely dependent on what physical, no? Correct?
Yeah.
So this is one of the drawback. If virtual goes down, if physical goes down, all virtual will go down. Like for example, if I shut down the physical interface, the virtual interface will automatically get shut down, no? Because sub interface always is related to physical only, no? So same way, virtual firewall, the system firewall always carry this admin context, which is the master context, and whatever configuration you did, like for example, Arpan, what I did in the beginning, I came and enable all the interfaces, E0, E1, and then I enabled E2 because I need two interfaces, no, three, sorry. So what I did, I came in the beginning on ASA and I enabled all the three interfaces, 0,
Okay.
1 and 2.
And two.
Second task I did is what? MAC address auto. And when I WR this configuration, see earlier in the single mode, when I WR the configuration, it goes says into what? Startup config.
Startup config.
Like for example, if I do this now, okay, where it gets saved? It gets saved in a file called admin.cfg. That means all your system configuration, that is the physical firewall configuration, about the context, about the sub interface, everything gets saved under which file? Admin.cfg. If I delete this file and restart the ASA, no, all your context will go away.
Okay, so basically everything, even the virtual box and everything will go away.
Yeah, because see, all the configuration of the system gets saved in which file? Not the startup config.
It's an admin
admin.cfg. And who declared this? The firewall only declared this in admin. See, he declared that whenever my administrator create any context or do sub interface or do MAC address auto, and when he say WR, don't save in the startup config, save everything in admin.cfg. And where is this file located? Disk 0. Now what is disk 0? Inbuilt flash memory of this box. Okay, there is a possibility that you might have extra flash memory also, like outbound, like many times your firewalls have removable power supply, or removable flash memory. So disk 0 means what? It is actually the inbuilt flash memory. Disk 1 is what? Compact flash memory card, which you can remove it from the device. It's on the outside panel of the firewall. You can also save all this configuration on the TFTP server. You can also save this configuration on FTP. You can also save this configuration on any of the web server on your internet. Safety. Okay. Okay. But there is a note.
So
Always save the admin context. Better you save it in your internal flash memory of the ASA.
So can I ask now, if admin context is the main context mode, and you create the HR and the IT context, when you're saving that configuration, is it saving it under a separate context called HR context, or still under the
Yes,
main
very good
admin
question.
context?
If you are saving HR or IT, it will not get saved into admin.
Where will it be saved?
In their own respective configuration file that you are going to declare it now.
Oh, okay.
You are going to declare it. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the first step you did now? First step you did is what? You went into all the interface and you said no shut. Second, you
Yeah.
said what? MAC address auto.
Auto.
Third, you are going to create the sub interface which you have already decided. You have created this, no? VLAN 10 on the switch. E1.11 VLAN 11 interface E2.20 VLAN 20 interface E2.25 VLAN 25. Done? Okay.
Yeah.
Copy. Clear? Just see. You created how many sub interface? For HR we created 1.10 VLAN 10. For IT context LAN we created 1.11. For DMZ of HR, so we can name it
Yeah.
also. Better we'll understand that way. What I'll do, I will name it also. Description HR LAN. Description IT LAN. Description HR DMZ. IT DMZ. Sure. Run. See now. Clear? So we have allocated E1 physical interface to two different departments, that is HR and IT, and HR belongs to VLAN 10 inside. Okay, LAN. E1.11 is IT LAN, E2.20 is HR DMZ, and E2.25 is what? IT DMZ. Understood?
Yeah.
Again, when I say WR, it goes into admin.cfg. Admin.cfg. All this configuration is getting saved in what? Admin. I told you, in the single mode, when we try to change the mode, it got saved everything in old running config. That is the single mode config. But safe side, what we did, we saved it in startup also, safe side. Okay. Now, still the job is not done. Now we'll take what? We are going to create context HR. Done. Allocate interface E1.10. Allocate interface. We have decided already. And for outside, physical interface. Now where you want the configuration to save according to Conwell, we want everything of this department get saved in disk 0, that is the inbuilt flash, name HR.cfg. That means now whenever you create context, okay, this will get whenever you create contacts and whenever you create configuration in HR, everything will get saved in hr.cfg.
What's this warning?
What?
What's the warning?
See, we have still not
Not
created that department. No, we have still not configured that department. So he's telling, I am not able to find the hr.cfg. Once we create, it will automatically save. He is still not find that HR department. We are just making a provision now. See, we created HR contacts. Okay.
What do you mean it hasn't found the department? I don't understand.
See, we are just making a provision of HR context. We still not configured that virtual firewall. What is the meaning of hr.cfg? If we create virtual firewall HR, that time this configuration file will be used for saving the policy, netting, access list, everything in that hr.configuration. So still we have not created HR department. No, we have not configured HR department.
So basically, when we configure, automatically all will be saved
Yes,
here. Same thing
yes,
will go
yes.
with the IT also.
Yes, correct. We are making a provision now. This will be same for both. This won't be same for both. This will be again 1.11.
So you're not assigning the actual physical interfaces to the
No.
different contexts, it's sub-interfaces.
Yeah, sub interfaces. Config URL disk 0 it.cfg. Okay. Now when you say show flash, you won't find HR and IT config because you are still not created that departments. You have just made a provision of that department in the system firewall. You have just told the system firewall that I am going to make 2 virtual firewalls. So system says okay, and then whatever I gave this HR department or HR firewall 0, 1.10, 2.20. This firewall I gave E0, 1.11, 2.25. Okay, and their configuration will be saved here, and they are in routed mode. All both these 2 firewall, and their master is what? Admin. The master is carrying what? Physical interfaces, and the slaves are carrying what? Sub interfaces as well as physical. Okay, now everything is done. I say what? WR done. Now I will say what? Change. I am entering into now HR now you see this is your firewall. Which firewall? HR firewall. You got this information?
Okay.
You got this information? Virtualization is done now. Show route.
So this is like entering into the, what do you call it?
Virtual firewall of HR.
Yeah, this is like a Cornwall. I don't know if you have worked with a 2010 router, which they have a spare. You can insert a 8-port switch mode, and then from there you can go from the router. You can jump to the switch mode, like switch ports, something like that.
Yeah, correct.
No, but what I understand what's happening here is we're basically designing the physical and virtual architecture of the physical firewall,
Yes.
saying this ports, this section, you belong to HR and
Yeah.
IT and so on and so on.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
we are making.
Then the configuration
we
starts.
are dividing this physical firewall into 2 different firewall. This is my physical firewall. The border here.
Yeah.
The border here is the physical firewall. This physical. Inside this physical, we have created 2 virtual firewall. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you were saying that you got your physical machine, you're deploying VMware workstation,
yes.
you're deploying your
Yeah.
VMs, but you haven't configured anything in the VMs.
Yeah, correct. Now I'm going to configure, no? Okay.
So once if you configure and if you save it, it will go in that.
Yes.
And then you
Yes.
can see the files in the like when you
Yes.
see the show flash or something, you'll see the file there.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
subnet we have decided? We are going to take this thing. We say no shut. See, these commands were not available with the system firewall. You cannot. Okay. Security level 100 is done. Interface E 0. IP address 20.1.1, 255.255.255.0. Okay, might be conflicting with some already created virtual firewall. So we'll take say 3.
Take it 10, 20.
3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
3. No shut. Name if outside. Say done. Interface E2 dot 20. IP address 10.1.1, 255.255.255.0. No shut. Name if DMZ. Security level 50. Okay, show route WR route outside 00. Next hop is what? 5. Show route WR ping 20.1.1.5. Pinging, that is the router. Now when I save this configuration and say change to system, again come back to system. Okay, system is the main file.
Don't say admin, change to
System.
Change to.
Change to system. See now.
Okay, now you can see an HR config file.
Done.
Yeah.
With some bytes, but still IT is not there. So what we will do? Change to context. We are entering into IT. See what interfaces we allocated him. 1.11, 2.25. Which is there.
So Munawar, if you want to change to admin context, you say change to system.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Okay.
can go directly from here to other context also. Like if I want to go to change to context HR.
Oh, directly you can bounce
Yes,
without
yes,
going to the
without
main
going
one.
to the system.
Without going to the system. Oh, that's nice.
Now,
So even if I have like 7 or 8 virtual ones, I can jump anywhere
yes,
from here.
yes. And in GUI it is again very easy. Okay, this is command
Okay.
line, so you have to.
So just after a question,
Yeah.
so all this configuration what we are doing right now via CLI,
Yeah.
we can also do via GUI.
Yes, very easy.
Okay.
Outside, again, the word is what? Outside. Interface E 1.11, IP address 192.168, but this time the subnet is different, 20 subnet, because this is a different department, so they want their own LAN. They don't want to copy. If the VLAN is different, the subnet is also different, the department is different, the policy is different, the netting is different, everything you can keep different. No need to care about other department. You can have your own policies. Okay, 10.2.2.2 1. Oh, sorry, 255. This is DMZ network. Huh? WR show route done. Inside, outside, and DMZ route outside 00 20.1.5, that is R1. Ping 20.R1.5. Pinging WR.
So Munawar, each context has its own routing table.
Yes, each contact is having
Okay.
its own. Change to system, show flash. Now you can see IT also. Correct? See the IT config file is also there. Suppose you come out and you want to save all the 20 context configuration file. You might be thinking that you forgot to configure. Then you can say write mem all also. So he is saving all the context file. See, admin, HR and IT. Write mem all.
So when you do write mem all, so all the different like system will be saved in system, IT in IT, HR in
Everything in their respective files only.
IT. Respective.
But
Okay,
one command for all the
All
context
does it.
configuration saving. You don't
So
have
that command you run it from system.
Yeah, system.
Okay.
Because I am not sure whether I saved it in IT or not. So when I come out, I don't have to enter into the IT to save it. I can just say write mem all. So all the contexts are being saved. Show
Okay.
context is the command to see how many contexts you created, what are the interface you allocated, in which mode they are working, and what is their respective configuration file. You can see that, because see, it is risky also, no? Suppose you are configuring HR taking some months, and by chance if it got lost, so you can take the backup of HR and IT files which is there in the flash memory. You can take the backups. So anything happens to the virtual firewall, you still have the backup of HR and IT configuration, because they are saved separately. You also have the system configuration in admin.cfg, because that is also saved separately. You can bring back all the configuration if anything happens to the virtual firewall or to the box. And you can do failover also. If you big one more box, physical box, then all these contacts can easily be failed over between the second box also, easily, no problem. Okay, clear? Now again I will go what, change to say HR. When I go to change to context, and remember one thing, you have to use the same name. Suppose if I say HR, say no, this is not a valid name, because it is written in. So when I go here, okay, now I say access list, say out dash in permit ICMP any, and say access group out dash in interface outside. Okay, and then I try to ping my other devices also, like already I have configured 172.16.10.1. This is working. Now if R2 try to ping my machine in the LAN side, okay, that is R4. So let's see R4 is configured or not. R3 was configured, I change it. Show IP INT brief. Okay, this is HR LAN PC interface, no interface, E/0.10. I just showed you IP address 192.168.10.255.255.255.255.0. no shut, and try to ping my gateway 192.168. See, this will not work if you don't do the trunking, because see, this PC is going from here to the switch, and then from the switch it is going to its own respective HR VLAN, that is HR context. Now if this one comes, he will go here. Okay, and remember one thing, when I say show ARP, I can see some dummy MAC addresses. Can you see this? This is not the actual MAC address of the ASA. Actual MAC address of interface, change, show interface E1. If you see, the actual MAC address of E1 is this, but R3 is a LAN PC, and in its ARP he is getting some dummy MAC address. Can you see? This is not the MAC address of ASA, physical MAC address of ASA. And what is the IP address? 10.1. It is the dummy MAC address. Physical is different, because you said MAC address auto, no? If you remove that command, it will not work. Okay, so now this will be R4. Config T, host name, IT LAN PC, ping, show IP INT brief. You need to change the IP address. IP address 192.168.20.2, 255.255.255.0, no shut, ping 192.168.20.1, again IT context, yes, going first packet to resolve the ARP. See, this MAC and this MAC is different. 10.1 and this fellow, again this is a dummy MAC address generated by ASA and given to IT LAN PC in the ARP reply by ASA. Which firewall? IT context. Getting it? Dummy MAC address. So basically only single interface is there, but I am getting two different MAC address on two different PC. Okay, same way I'll go on R5 and say hostname HR server, ping 10.1.1.1, first packet to resolve, show ARP. Again, see, they are all similar MAC, A200, only the last character is changing, the last bit is changing. See here also A200, they are all dummy. R5 again going to its own fellow, R6, config T, interface E0 by 0, IP address 10.2.2.2, 255.255.255.0, ping 10.2.2.1, first packet to resolve, show ARP. See this again, dummy MAC address, config T, host IT server. So 3 is HR LAN PC, 4 is IT LAN PC, 5 HR server, R6 IT server. So let's see, we have given a policy on HR that I want all of them to access any. I have given any, but this policy is applied on HR, not on IT. So let's see if this fellow can come, but before that we have to give one route also on R1, because we have not done routing on R1 for the two new network, that is you have to remove this first. Okay, now I will say IP route to go to 192.168.10.0 network, go to 20.1.1.3. remember Arpan, we got a conflict, so we changed the IP address to 3.
Yeah.
So 192.168.10 network belongs to HR, okay, and the next hop is the HR outside interface, which is 20.1.1.3. so this means this is 3, okay, and this is what, 4. So R1 should send the traffic of HR to 3 and R1 should send the traffic of IT to 4, correct? Up arrow 4 20 different subnet, IP route of server, again 20.1.1.3, 4 2.2.0. Now R2 will try to ping. First he will try to ping firewall. Which firewall? HR. HR is pinging. Can you see? HR is pinging. IT is also pinging. HR firewall is pinging separately. IT firewall is pinging separately. And now I will try to ping any I said, no? So I will try to ping 192.168.10.2. Pinging. I try to ping the server. already I have given the route for this, no? 192.168.10.2 is working. This fellow is what? DMZ. So IP INT brief 10.1.1.2 IP route. Okay. Ping 10.1.1.1 myself 10.1.1.2. Okay. Routing issue. Show run 10.1.1.1 20.1.1.3. Okay. So IP route. Default route is given. Show access list. Hits are there. Where I said out in. Okay. This is working. Wait. Let me check. Ping 192.168. Okay. But this fellow should not work. 192.168. 20.2 will not work because there is no policy on IT. There is no policy on IT. Okay. Now the next troubleshooting is why it's not able to ping 10.1.1.2. 10.1.1.2 should also work because 10.1.1.2 firewall can ping. Okay. Show IP INT. This fellow is already having 10.1.1.2. Can he ping the gateway? Yes. Can he ping 12.1.1.2? No. Or can he ping 192.160? Sorry. Show access list. Out dash in permit. Sorry. Deny IP any. Let me check. Hits are not coming. That means the traffic is not coming to firewall. Okay. Let's check where his traffic is getting stuck. For 10 network, which is the server behind HR or server of DMZ HR, and we get the policy ICMP any. Let me check what is the security level. See, security level is there 50. It should go. He is getting stuck on R1. So IP INT is getting stuck here only. So go to 10 network, go to 2113. Hitting from here. This fellow is also not going.
What is 12.1.1.2?
R2. R2 and R1. R2 and R1 is connected via serial connection now. S1 by 0 and S1 by 0.
Oh.
Okay. So show route. Show run. DMZ is there. Okay. ASA can ping. Yes, ASA can ping. R5, that is server, can also ping ASA. It's working. But the R1 cannot ping. R1 can ping 192.168.10.2. Yes, it can ping. Can this fellow ping 12.1.1.2? Yes. It's not pinging. Wait, let me check what is the issue. Routing issue. There is no route. I told you can make a PC in two ways. You can put a default route, or you can just make a default gateway and disable the routing. Okay, so now R2 can go. Pinging. Okay. Repeat. 10,000.
Can we have a break?
Yeah. I also need to break for lunch. Okay. Can you see? The connection is there. Okay.
Yeah.
Connection is there. There was a routing issue. But R2 cannot ping. R2 cannot ping IT LAN because you have not given permission. On IT, change to IT. There is no permission here. Sorry, change to context IT. Show access list. There is no permission.
No, but later.
Now I give access list out dash
What?
permit.
Okay. Alright.
INT, any access list, access group, out dash in interface outside. Now I give permission to IT also. Let's see. .20.2. Show IP route. Default route is not there. Pinging. Show CONN connection detail. Show access list. So you see, different firewall is working differently with their different policies. In one firewall I gave ICMP, other firewall is not allowing. So every firewall is individual, virtual firewall. You don't have to have the same policy on both the firewalls. You can defer the policy, you can defer the subnet. Everything can be different. Clear?
Yeah.
Just one more thing. Is it possible to, you can copy, right? There has to be some sort of a, besides just a copy to this thing.
What?
Copy the same policies or anything from one context to the another one?
Yes. You can just copy
Like
paste.
very easy way?
Copy paste.
Just a simple copy paste only, no other way, right?
Copy paste.
Okay.
Okay. But
Yeah.
Arpan, the things are like, there will be difference in the behavior. No, HR people have different policies and different permissions to their servers. IT.
No, this is just a general question.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to copy and paste. Copy paste.
Okay.
There is no communication between HR and IT. They are separate firewalls. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take a break, lunch break, and I'll come back.
Quick
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
So what time are we having class today?
Hello.
So what time are we having class today? Just want to plan.
4 o'clock. Till 4 o'clock.
Okay, 4 o'clock IST, right?
Yes.
On your time.
My time.
Okay, so how long are we having a break now?
15 minutes. I'll just take lunch and come back. Okay?
Okay, so we'll go for about another hour after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay?
Okay.
Is it okay,
Yeah.
no?
Yes, sounds good.
Okay, no, you want to go
Yeah,
out
I'm
or
fine.
what somewhere?
No, I'm fine.
Cornell, you are planning to go out.
Yeah.
Because I have to go out, otherwise I was thinking to carry till 5 my time, but then I have to go out. So, okay. Anyway.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Who's
Yeah.
that?
So once again, the admin context is the system configuration relying on the admin context to access interface that can pass traffic. Okay, so admin context is very important. Mode multiple, first command, what I will do, I will send you the commands and the diagram so you can correlate everything. Show context. First you have to check the license whenever you are doing. Change to system. Okay. So run. Now you have nothing to do with the system. Every time what you have to do is what you have to go there,
Change to.
context. Achha. Everything you have to do it here. Okay, just 1 minute. Hello. ठीक है, आजा आजा। क्या बोल रहे हो? हाँ खाना खा लिया, आ जाओ, खाना है भरपूर। क्या क्या? Hello. Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gave one policy where I applied this policy where I said ICMP any. Okay. And then I denied also something. Okay. So you can have your own policies configuring. You can also have your own netting, translation, everything. Right? Whatever practical you did, except for few practicals you can't do in this is like you can't run dynamic routing protocol. Okay, like for example, router, see RIP is not showing, EIGRP is showing, but let me check whether it is working or not for the new version. So if I say router EIGRP, already I have given static route, so I say no route outside 00. Okay, and when I say show route, I lost the connectivity, only this is pinging, I lost the connectivity with 1. Now I say router EIGRP 10, then I say network, which network is mine, HR 192.168.10.0, subnet mask 255.255.255.0, network 10.1.1.0 and network 20.1.1.0. So run. I just configured. Okay, now I'll do it with R1. Router EIGRP 10, network 12.1.1.0, 0.0.0.255, network 20.1.1.0.0.0.0.255. Yes, neighborship is going up. That means in new version it is supporting the dynamic routing protocol also. Okay, if I say router EIGRP 10, network 12.1.1.0, network 172.16.10.0. I go on ASA and say show route. I got all the networks. I got 12.1.1.2 and I got 172.16.10.1 also supporting. So dynamic routing protocol is also supporting. Change to context IT router RIP, sorry, router EIGRP, network 192.168.20.0, 255.255.255.0, network 10.2.2.0, 255.255.255.0, and network 20.1.1.0, 255.255.255.0. Show route supporting. One 10.2. 2 is not there, already not configured. Branch PC 172.16.2, 255.255.255.0, no shut IP routing. Show IP. Okay, so dynamic routing protocol is working. Anytime if you want to go to system, you have to say change to system. Now let's try with GUI. Let's first try to activate GUI. Okay, change to, you can change it, change to system. Conwell, have you enabled what you say? Have you connected anytime machine on Eve? Have you did this?
Yeah.
Machine, your own laptop. Have you connected this on the Eve
Yes.
topology? How to add the cloud? Like in DNS, we used to add the cloud and then you used to might. Where is the option? You know, because I am like new to Eve. So, have you done any?
No, I'm also new to Eve. I have learned Eve from you.
Okay. Because Eve is really good, no doubt.
I think
Yeah.
Munawar, you need to add cloud
That only I'm asking. How to add that cloud? There is an option here.
object. Yeah,
Which one?
yeah, somewhere there only. They
Network.
maybe
Custom shape.
maybe network. No,
My network.
no, I know I've done this once.
Add an object.
Go to no, maybe go to notes. No, second one
Nodes.
is something there. No, because I've checked this when I was surfing. Right, I was trying to figure out all those things.
To see whether the cloud is there here. No. Cloud is there. Proper cloud is there. Hello.
Yeah.
I think what you must do is go to node.
Okay.
Yeah. No, not that one. Add object. Sorry.
Yeah.
Network.
Node.
Yeah.
No. The next one.
Add object. Network.
Network. Yeah, and then I think that the type must be changed. The type.
Type yeah, some
Cloud.
cloud.
There.
There you go.
Management cloud or cloud one? Cloud one, I think. Okay. I think we need to switch off first.
What is our intention with the cloud?
GUI.
What is?
GUI of the ASA. If you want to take GUI of
GUI.
Oh, you mean you want to bridge the Eve network to your machine?
yeah.
Okay.
You said node, na? Network.
Network, yeah.
Cloud one. Same.
I think bridge will also work.
Bridge.
Hmm.
Yeah, bridge should also work.
No, it's not showing. On the switch, it is not taking interface. It should take the interface, no?
Wow, there's type node. What is that at the bottom there?
Where?
There, type node, type network. Oh, you can't change that.
Node.
Hmm.
G0 by 0 is already connected, no? Or there is only 4 interface. I don't know. Can you do it with bridge also? You're telling?
Let's try.
Add an object.
Because I've seen my colleague done it that way. I think it's bridge. Yeah.
How to bridge this? Okay, I'll check it later on. Okay. Then we'll do GI also. So I hope this is clear. This part is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fine.
Now rest is like, you go on configuring the firewalls, what you did, all the topics you can do. Like, what we did it in the normal firewall, the same you can do it in this. Okay.
Same thing.
Same things you can do it here and practice. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll go here and say change to system, write mem all. We'll save it. And now we'll go and say change to mode single. Sorry. Mode single.
When you change back to mode single, do you lose all the other config?
See, everything will change, no? The schema, everything. But then what I did, I saved it, na? So when I make it mode multiple again, I can find it back all the configuration. Plus I have already configured and saved it in CFG file, no? So everything will come back. But I might lose the single mode configuration. That also I have taken a backup and kept it. Single mode configuration. Old running config is already there. Startup config is also there. So I can bring that configuration back. What I'll do, I have already taken down the configuration of each and every lab we did, like if you are doing context, if you are doing NAT, I will take one Word file, paste the diagram and the configuration what we did it, okay, in Eve, so that when you are sitting for the lab practice, like in your Eve, you have to just see the diagram, the IP addressing which we normally do, and the configuration which we did it just now, like context configuration, how to do the context. Okay, just now we did this only, no? Then we did it what? Context, HR context. Then we went there inside this HR context and say allocate hyphen interface, and then we said E0 like that. So all these configurations I will give you. Department, MAC address auto. Now we'll see the configuration is there. Gone. Show mode. Single. Configuration is gone. Okay. Now again, if you just say what, copy flash to startup config. No, copy flash startup config to running config. So run. I got the configuration back of my single mode, which we did it. We took the backup. Show out. Okay. Now if I say save it. Now if I again do what? Mode multiple. See, again this configuration is saved.
Munawar, I've checked this other topology I have from my friend. He's using cloud.
Cloud, no?
And Yes, and then it's just connecting it to a switch interface.
Okay, this switch. See, normally the switch interface show interface status. It is showing he is having 4 interfaces connected. When I say show run, how many interfaces it is showing? 3 only. That is 0, 1, 2, 3. So what we can do, we can delete this interface and we can check it. But for that we need to stop both ASA and this. I will check it. But first your question, like if you convert it into single and then again you go back to for multiple, what happens? Like when we came to single, we lost the configuration. So I safely, what I did, I copied it in my flash memory, so I got it back. This is also doing something. Okay, so now we go here, Cisco, show mode, multiple, show run. See, but then I lost the configuration, so I'll say show flash, copy. I don't have any context now, only admin. So I say copy flash admin dot cfg to running context. Show context. Copy flash show startup config. No, there's some mistake here. Otherwise you can bring it back, that much is sure. If you change it to single and come back, you have this configuration saved here as an admin.cfg, you can bring it back. Okay, now I don't know why there's some bug with this, I don't know. So running config, show startup config. This is actually the single mode startup
So
config.
basically,
This is the single mode.
there's two.
Yeah, tell me.
There's two firewall modes, right? It's rooted and transparent, and then there's two security contexts.
When I say show firewall,
Yeah.
it is 2 modes. One is router mode and transparent mode. Okay. So if I want to change the firewall mode, I have to say firewall. I don't know why it's not accepting here. For changing the mode, wait, single. Let's go into single mode and then change it to transparent. show mode, show firewall. Firewall. Already using router mode, you can change it to transparent. Okay, so show firewall command gives you router. Show mode is give you the context mode. Show firewall either router or transparent. Show mode single. Okay, just
So it's show firewall and show mode.
show firewall and show mode.
So you can only put it in transparent mode if it's in single.
No, that you have to
Context.
do it in. We have to go in the HR and IT context. There you will find the option.
Oh.
We were trying
Okay.
in system, no.
Okay.
Now I'll do what? I'll delete this interface, which is okay. So this is not needed now yet, and I want the cloud to be placed. Cloud 1. Save. Okay. Now I want this cloud to get connected to this switch on 0/3, and I want to edit this cloud but normally in GNS we used to add the IP address of the laptop, no? We used to map it with the
Yes.
we used to map it. How we can
Yeah.
how to map this Microsoft cloud adapter here.
Can we, when we in the starting, when you set up your Eve,
Okay.
I think there was an option when you, if you see, you know, those interfaces and you know, can you go to the starting of the this thing?
Here
You know, when we start,
instead of this you delete.
I'm wondering if you must add it under the network configuration of the Eve
yes, yes,
to
that's what I'm
attach
saying.
it to attach it to this cloud interface.
Where?
Yeah,
Here.
I think when you go in the starting, when you
Don't remove
Yeah.
don't remove the cloud.
okay, yeah,
Here.
can you, okay, can you here,
Go to the settings of the VM.
Okay. Here you mean to say. Correct?
Something like that.
something like that, yeah.
Correct. I got it. You normally you have to do that editing here itself, and then it will go there. Correct. Virtual editor. Because see, now I got the IP address something 192.168. So if you want to map your, if I want to map this VMnet adapter, this one, no? You mean to say? This is now in. He's having 192.168.83.1.
3.1.
So I need to say obtain an IP automatically. Okay, I will see that. I will do it. Okay. Now let's do one small topic before leaving, that is Ether channel. Okay. You must be known to Ether channel. What is Ether channel? Conwell? Arpan?
It's bundling interfaces for like to achieve bigger throughput.
Okay.
Yeah, higher throughput, a bigger
Okay.
throughput, yeah.
But
same
then why you need to do Ether channel? You can just add the interfaces to the switch and you can make them work. But then why you need Ether channel bundling? The definition is okay, like if you want to have a good throughput, you are trying to bundle it. What
Yeah.
is the exact meaning? Like that is the definition of Ether channel. But why you want to do Ether channel when both these interfaces, like if you see ASA is having two interfaces going on this switch, both can be working, no? What do you think? They won't be working.
For
Both cannot be working.
is it for load balancing or something like that?
Whatever, load balancing or sharing the
Yeah.
load from one interface, because see here what
So
happens, you
yeah,
have only one interface, but this is server
yeah,
boss.
yeah.
So
Redundancy.
there will be lot of people. No, apart from redundancy, see, redundancy and ether channel is two different things. Redundancy is
Mm,
of interface, like if
mm,
anytime E2 goes down, E3 will be taking care of the traffic. Okay,
yeah.
that
Mm,
is redundancy between two interfaces. Here we are not looking for
mm,
redundancy, we are looking for load balancing, high throughput, everything,
yeah,
everything we are looking
yeah,
for. So for
yeah.
that I have taken two interfaces, because see, there is lot of load. There will be many people trying to access these two servers, that is R5 and R6, because these servers
Mm,
are in demand. They are public servers. They might be shadi.com, they might be Amazon or something like that, shopping. So these servers are very much in demand. So I want firewall should immediately process that request and send it to the switch after following the policies, allow them to go there. So if it is only one interface, so he is getting only gig speed, correct? That
mm,
is,
yeah.
if you have suppose 100 mbps port, now we have say 100 mbps port between the switch and the ASA. So if it
Mm.
is only one link,
It's gonna be only
no,
100.
200, the throughput is always
Oh yeah, I mean
yeah,
like yeah.
throughput is always transmit and receive. But
Mm,
assume we put one more link. If we put one more link, then we'll get 400 mbps.
mm,
Yes.
Okay. If we
yeah,
put 4 link, we are going to get 800 mbps. If you put 8 links, that's all. We cannot put more than that. Then how much? 1600
60.
mbps. That means double of 8 is 16, double of 4 is 800. So see, if you have only one link, so earlier in my topology I used to put only one link, I am getting
Yeah,
200 mbps. So if you go for 2 links, I am going to get 400. Forget about mbps. Suppose I am having 1 gbps interface, and if it is only
mm,
one link,
mm,
I am going to get only 1 gbps, and vice versa for 2. Okay, so if I am having 8 links, I am going to get 16 gbps, correct? Gbps.
yeah.
But then why, what is the need for doing all this thing, like, I can just put 2 links, 4 links, and then traffic will go, no? If you have parallel links, traffic can go. Why you need ether channel bundle,
Mm,
Arpan? Why you want to bundle them? Because if you put 2 links, or definitely it will be more than what you are getting in one link. What is the
yes.
reason
Yeah.
why we should go for ether channel?
I can't think besides
Conven
load balancing, higher throughput.
No, that is the definition
That's
of
there.
ether channel. But the question is
Yeah.
why we should go for ether channel. Why not just skip ether channel protocol and just connect ASA with 4 links, 8 links? Yeah, possible, no? I can just put now
Yeah.
also see I am already connected.
Mm,
But see, when I go to this switch, I will show you. If I activate on ASA, suppose this interface, which interface? E3, show route. Interface E3, say no shut. Show interface IP brief. That means my E3 is also up now.
mm,
Okay. If I bring this interface up and go and see on the switch, DMZ switch, show spanning tree, G0 and G0 by 1. So I was asking you, I don't know why it's not showing, but I was asking you one question, that why you need to do bundle. Okay, the thing is, like Arpan and Conwell, when we add more interfaces, switch actually is running one protocol for avoiding loop, that is spanning tree protocol. So what
Okay.
switch will do, Arpan, he will block all the redundant port that is connected to ASA, because if we keep both the link up, it will be a loop.
Yeah, and it will go round and round.
Yeah. So in order to avoid that loop, because see, in this loop what will happen, ASA can send broadcast from both the interfaces, like suppose if there is a switch there on the other end, so switch, if there is a broadcast, the broadcast will come from both the interface, that is E0 by 0 and E0 by 1, or you can say E2 and E3. Multiple frame can get copied. MAC table will always be unstable, because see, you might be receiving multiple MAC addresses on both these interfaces same time, again and again. Okay. So spanning tree is very cautious about this. Spanning tree says there will be a loop on the switch, in the switch network, layer 2 switching loops, and to avoid that they created spanning tree protocol. And when spanning tree sees that if there is a 2 link active on your switch and both links are going to the same device, automatically he will block one link and he will put that port into blocking. So,
Okay.
if you don't want that port to be in blocking, what I'll do, I'll remove this VLANs. No VLAN 20, no VLAN 25, and then show run. I don't want any VLAN now, and I'm going to make this port remove from the trunking also.
Munawar, are you saying that you're using Ether channel also to avoid spanning tree loops?
No, I'm not going to use Ether channel to avoid spanning tree loop. The definition which you gave is right.
Sorry, you're breaking up?
1 minute, I'll change the network.
Because you was
No, I was asking the definition. The definition
that
was
reason.
perfect. Still cracking. Voice is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was asking you what is the reason why we should go for Ether channel. Okay. So the question is, your definition for Ether channel is correct. Increasing the throughput, distributing the traffic among both the links, everything is correct about Ether channel. Bundling of the link,
Yes.
aggregating of the link, that is the definition of Ether channel. But as an interview, I am asking you, as an interviewer, I am asking you why we have to do Ether channel when I can just put links and the traffic can move from both the links to this R5 and R6, correct? Why we need Ether channel bundling? Because see, link is there, that means traffic can come from that link, no? Okay. So actually what happens when you connect more than one link on the switch, there will be definitely a loop, and to avoid this loop, long back switch technology came out with a protocol called spanning tree. So when I connect two interface from a switch to switch or ASA to switch, my switch will block out of this two port, one port will be blocked. So that means if I want to also to send the traffic from both the links, it will not allow. For that reason I have to do Ether channel bundle to avoid that blocking. I don't want spanning tree to block my link. So what I am doing, I am fooling spanning tree. I am telling him that no, this is not two links, this is a one link only. And actually what I am doing, I am bundling it and showing it spanning tree that this is just a single link. But actually if I see,
Then my answer was correct. I said to avoid the spanning tree loop.
Yeah. So no, but that is on the switch side. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is on the switch side. Switch is playing the role of culprit. Like switch is doing actually good job. Okay. He is trying to avoid spanning tree loop. Okay. So for
Yes.
that reason he is blocking one of the links. Okay. So yes, okay, in one way you can say that just because the spanning tree is blocking our links, if I put more than one link, suppose if I put 8 links also, he is going to block all the 7 links and he will always keep only one link working. Okay.
Hmm.
So I want to fool spanning tree. I want to tell him that you are doing a very good job, spanning tree. You are avoiding the loop. You do your job. But let me tell you, I am not using 2 links. Actually, I am using only 1 link, and I am doing what? I am aggregating that 2 links into a bundle called ether channel, and that also loop free. So spanning tree is not having problem now. He is allowing ether channel to work. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So a single link between an ASA and a switch provides simple connectivity, but if it is a single point of failure, if the link goes down, no data travel across. So for that reason we are doing, okay, and plus switch is not going to allow more than link, so we are bypassing that with the help of ether channel. I can use 2 minimum for an ether channel, and maximum I can use 8 links. How many? 2 to 8
8.
physical active
Yeah,
links
16.
can be done on the ether channel. And remember one thing, this is layer 3 ether channel, not layer 2, because see, my IP address will be same for both E2 and E3, correct? I cannot keep 2 different IP address or 2 different network. So I am going to aggregate it with one port channel, which is going to form a bundle between these 2 links. So bundling is nothing but aggregating, and for that you have to see that the link speed, bandwidth, everything has to be same on both the side. Okay.
Question. When I said that it's to prevent spanning tree loops, you said yes from the direction of the switch.
Yeah.
So in terms of the direction of the ASA, what is the answer?
In terms of
From the ASA.
ASA don't know about the loop. No, ASA want throughput. That's all. ASA want throughput, correct? But you can't do ether channel.
Okay.
See, ether channel is a feature designed between 2 switch to work smoothly. But now what happened? Somebody asks if I connect ASA and if I connect more than 1 link, then will it work? From ASA side, yes. But from switch side it is not going to work, because switch is going to block the redundant link. Okay. So what is the next?
Oh,
Yeah. So what?
okay, ether channel is to overcome that then.
Ether channel is the feature.
Okay.
ASA, that means you mean to say that they said, oh, then ASA will be at a problem. He can't bring his connections in a faster way to the servers. So we have to do something on ASA also, like what we did on switches. We wanted the core switches should give the traffic to the distribution and distribution to the access. We need to do ether channel bundle between core switch and distribution and access layer. But here the case is like ASA. So will ASA support ether channel bundle? So they made a provision in ASA that it can also support ether channel bundle, because the problem is not with the ASA, the problem is with the switch, and it is not actually problem, it is the good protocol to avoid loop. So ASA point of view, it's okay. Okay, I am okay, but then switch point of view, it is not okay. So we have to do ether channel, but ether channel cannot be done alone on the switch. For doing ether channel, you need to also make ASA support that. Okay, so this topic actually tells you that ASA support ether channel. Like for example, we did VLAN just now in security context. So what it proves? That yes, ASA also support VLAN. ASA also support trunking. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes or no? ASA also support VLAN. ASA also support trunking.
Yes.
ASA also supports sub interfaces. Yes, it supports sub interface. Okay, and when you are creating
Yeah.
sub interface, ASA want VLAN to be added on that sub interface, then only it will work. Same thing, router on a stick. Router support VLAN, router support trunking, and for that you need to create sub interface and you have to add encapsulation.1q and VLAN ID. Okay, like that. So ASA also support ether channel bundle, and it has to be done between ASA and the switch, but ASA configuration is different and switch configuration is different. Okay, so for switch configuration, what is the command? Default interface G0 by 0. I have to put them in default, because if you see the diagram, it is G0 by 0 and G0 by 1. And then what I'll say, interface range G0 by 0 dash 1. Okay, then the command is what? Channel group 1, that is the channel group ID. Mode, what you want ether channel to follow. There are two protocols in ether channel. One is PAGP and LECP. Please remember, if you have two switches in front of you, then PAGP also support and LACP. PAGP is the Cisco proprietary, LACP is the open standard, but in ASA only LACP is supported. Only LACP is supported. So you can say active is part of LACP. Okay, and then channel protocol, no need to select. LACP. Okay, will show okay. So you see, I created G0 by 0 and G0 by 1. Negotiation auto. Channel protocol LACP. That's all. It support only that. Okay. Now you go on ASA. On ASA, if you see, the commands are different. What are the two interfaces we have on ASA?
I think so. There was 3? No.
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
So we have to say channel mode. Okay. Group 1.
Yeah.
Active.
Mode active.
ASA. Okay, but it's not going to take, because first you have to create what? Port channel. Interface port channel.
Yeah.
Then we have to say,
Kijk, maar het is moet veel dat ze wacht veel bij
we
die
have to say
adres.
the IP address, because we can't give now IP address to the interfaces. 10.1.1. Okay, but before that we have to remove the IP address from the actual interface. That is, two interfaces are there, no? 2 and 3.
So this is now we are actually doing on the system, right?
We are doing it on firewall, no?
Yeah, but the, what do you call it, the main one, what do you call it?
Single one. We
yeah,
removed that.
okay.
Yeah. Same thing, you have to do it on E3. No shut. Now you're going to create interface port channel 1, and then you say IP address 10.1.1.1 255.255.255.0. no shut, name if DMZ. Okay, name if not allowed on empty ether channel interface. is empty. Okay. You go on E2. E2 and E3, and you have to make this you have to activate channel group on this. We are doing layer 3 ether channel. In layer 3 you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
also give the IP address.
IP address, yeah.
Okay.
Munawar, last time you gave us the one Cisco security book. Remember the lab book?
Lab guide.
So all those lab guide. Is this all
No,
the things are there in that lab guide?
my topology, no?
Okay, but it's something similar
Yeah.
that in that lab guide.
Almost. But see what I'll do, I'll
Okay.
prepare my own lab guide and give you. Whatever we have
Okay.
done up till now in the form, like what today I have taken this diagram. So you understood this diagram and the configuration done on this. It was working.
Okay.
So what I'll do, I'll give this diagram and say you have to do a virtual firewall, that is security context, and these are the commands according to our IP addressing scheme, our VLAN configuration.
Oh yeah, if you can
Yeah.
do that, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we should start doing this because my target is your end.
Okay. Interface IP brief.
No,
I don't know why it's going down. Let's. I'll just. I have to go now urgently today, so we'll keep this pending.
Okay, no, that's
we'll
alright.
keep
No
this
worries.
pending for the next lecture. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, no worries, man.
Conwell,
Okay.
you there?
He's I think busy.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, no worries, man.
Bye.
Okay, yeah, bye. Bye.
पहले शॉपिंग करने जा रहे हैं बोल।
तो क्या है?
अरे यार मम्मा मैं शॉपिंग करने नहीं आ रहा मोहम्मद अली रोड, तो तू लेट आ गया भाई।
अरे कुर्ता नहीं लेने का क्या?
ट्रेन से जा रहे हैं। Very lazy.
अच्छा
क्या?
can you teach the crime scene and doors already open गया?
हाँ मालूम है क्या तेरे को, मालूम क्या तेरे?
आपको दूसरा लिंक था नहीं तो फिर इसके बाद
अरे ये कहाँ हो गया? मैं यही पहनूं क्या? ये जीन्स पहनूं ना? अरे अभी तक नहीं है। अभी क्या पैकेट बॉक्स का अपने को निकालना है। What is this? कॉमेडी का ये मैं ग्रे पहनूं क्या ना? नया टी शर्ट लेट जाना है तो बोलो तुम लोग, हाँ? टॉवेल का है मेरा?
अरे जमीन आपका घर में है क्या? Second floor.